After being tossed about on an angry sea for weeks, Paul and the rest of the waterlogged and weary passengers dragged themselves from the wreckage of their ship onto the shores of an island called Malta. The friendly people of the island built a fire for the tired travelers to warm themselves. Wanting to be helpful, Paul left the group in search of sticks to add to the fire. When he returned to the group on the beach, he put his bundle of sticks on the fire. Unfortunately, Paul didn't realize that he had gathered more than sticks. As soon as Paul's bundle hit the fire, a poisonous snake that had gotten mixed up with the sticks sprung from the flames and bit Paul on his hand. The islanders saw a venomous viper hanging from Paul's hand and said, "To have survived a shipwreck only to be bitten by a snake means that this man must be a horrible person. This must be punishment for his terrible crimes." But Paul wasn't being punished. In fact, he was about to show the islanders the mighty power of God. Paul raised his hand over his head and then swung his arm down. In one quick motion, Paul shook the snake off his hand, flinging the viper into the fire. Paul took a seat by the fire among the islanders and other shipwreck survivors. Their eyes trained on Paul. Everyone around the fire sat waiting for him to swell up and die from the poison. After a long time had passed, they realized that Paul was unharmed. The islanders, shocked that Paul had survived, changed their minds and declared, "He must be a god." Near the place where the shipwreck survivors had gathered lived Publius, the chief man of the island. Publius graciously welcomed Paul and his companions as guests to his nearby estate. Publius showed them incredible hospitality for 3 days. Publius' father was gravely ill with a high fever. When Paul heard this news, he went into the man's room and prayed that he would be healed. Paul laid his hands on Publius' sick father, and the illness instantly left the man. He was healed. When the people of Malta heard about this miracle, they brought their sick to Paul, who healed them all. Publius honored Paul and his companions and gave them everything they would need as they continued their journey to Rome.